Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 8 things you should never say to Siri. So many of us have Siri or some kind of thing we can talk to on our phones. Now, sometimes these are hit and miss.
Sorry, I didn't quite get that.
But sometimes they can actually prove useful. However, there are some things that you should never ever say to these things on your phone. So guys, before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming in at number 10 we have Call My Girlfriend. So everyone hates remembering numbers. And if you have a lot of contacts, it can be annoying to scroll down and find the right one to call. So you may think just saying to Siri, call my girlfriend or call my boyfriend would be easy. But actually this is something you should never tell Siri to do. You can actually tell Siri to call people who you know. For example, you could say, call my dad or my mom. Siri would then actually do that, and it's all based off the tags in your contacts. Siri can actually assign tags to your contacts, for example, mom, dad, brother, sister, boyfriend, and girlfriend. But there's a catch. Siri cannot remove tags. So if you tag someone as your girlfriend, you better make sure you're with them forever. Otherwise, if you say to Siri, call my girlfriend, then they'll call your ex. That could be very embarrassing and awkward. So make sure you don't tell Siri to call your boyfriend or girlfriend, or it may add a tag. Then if you break up, things will get very awkward if you use Siri. Next up, we have hide a body. So we've all seen funny reactions of people saying, Siri, how do I hide a body? Now, Siri's answers to this are pretty funny. But guys, you're better off Googling this. Or maybe even going onto the dark web so you can't be tracked. That is because apparently if you ask Siri how to hide a body, the Secret Services can be informed. That's right, people from the CIA or FBI may be checking up on you. According to leaked files, the NSA can actually see what people ask Siri. So guys, be warned when asking Siri these kind of questions. Even if you are doing it just for fun, Big Brother is watching. I'm not saying the FBI is gonna burst down your door just for asking this question, but it may flash up on their radar, which is never a good thing. Next up we have meaning of life. So guys, have you ever had an existential crisis and wondered, why are we all here? What's the whole point of life? Well guys, if you want a nice and happy answer, then you should not ask Siri. If you ask Siri this, they're not going to sugarcoat anything and they'll be very, very blunt. If you ask Siri, why are we here? They say, I don't know, I often wonder that myself. Then again, being a voice trapped inside a phone probably isn't a great life. Next up is call an ambulance. So you may think if you're in an emergency, it would be a good idea to call an ambulance using Siri. But guys, if you want to do this, you need to always use the emergency call function. Never use Siri, and I'll tell you exactly why. If you say to Siri, Siri, call me an ambulance, Siri will take that the wrong way and literally start calling you an ambulance. Siri will understand it as some kind of funny nickname and literally call you an ambulance. Yeah, Siri doesn't exactly understand human emotions. So if you're going, Siri, call me an ambulance, then that's exactly the same as, Siri, call me an ambulance! So guys, it's better to be safe than sorry and just use the emergency call thing instead of Siri if you want an ambulance. Next up, we have medical questions. So let's say you don't need an ambulance, but you do want some kind of medical advice. You may think that asking Siri would be a good idea, but Siri is described as a personal assistant, not a personal nurse. That's why it's much better to rely on a professional if you need health advice. We all know that when you Google symptoms, it's never a good thing and it just gets you panicked. A lot of the time it's nothing, and sometimes they even suggest self-treatment. Instead, it's way better to call up a professional doctor and ask their opinion. Siri is useful for fun facts and other things like that, but when it comes to serious medical questions, I would avoid using Siri. Next up, we have September 11th. So we all know the terrible things that happened on September 11th, 2001. But the police have actually asked people not to search for information about September 11th using Siri. If you're not from America, you may be wondering why. Well, in America, instead of saying dates like day, month, year, they say month, day, year. That means the 11th of September is 9/11. So sometimes when people ask Siri about 9/11, it actually calls 911, which is the police. Another similar thing has happened in India. In India, the police number is 108. There was a prank a few years back when people would write on the internet saying, oh my gosh guys, ask Siri 108. They said that Siri would do something funny or crazy, but instead it just called the Indian police. Guys, it's really not funny to mess with the police and waste their time, so make sure you do not do this. And if you want info on 9/11, then use Google instead of Siri. Next up, we have name change. So when it comes to Siri, you can customize it somewhat. You can have an American woman's voice, an Australian man's voice, or a British man's voice. And of course, if you're in a non-English speaking country, you get a whole different voice. But one thing you cannot customize about Siri is its name. If you ask to change Siri's name, it will say, "Sorry, but I am Siri and I will remain as Siri." Yeesh, you don't have to be so blunt about it, Siri. Anyway, it seems that Siri really is not in the mood for changing names and loves the name Siri. So guys, if you're hoping to change Siri's name, then don't even bother. All you'll get is a moody response. And finally, we have dangerous animals and plants. So guys, maybe one day you encounter a dangerous animal or plant. You may want to find some information out and use Siri for that purpose. But guys, do not search for unknown animals or plants, especially if you live in Australia. You see, if you ask Siri about these unknown plants and animals, it's full of misinformation. That's not Siri's fault. Siri simply pulls articles and text from the internet. But we all know that sometimes the internet can be pretty unreliable. It's best to read up in books or on a legit website before encountering one of these things. But if you do encounter an unknown animal or plant, then be sure to not use Siri. The same goes for skin and home parasites, so make sure you don't use Siri for that either. You can't guarantee that Siri will find the correct answer online, so it's best to look it up when you have a bit more time and energy. So guys, those were the things you should never say to Siri. If you guys want to learn some more things you should never say to Siri, then be sure to leave a comment letting me know. And guys, vote in the poll for the most surprising thing you should never say to Siri. For me, I think it's the "call my girlfriend" one, as I had no idea Siri would do that. If you guys want more amazing videos, then why not take a look at my second channel? It's full of awesome crafts and DIYs, so why not give it a watch and subscribe? But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.